Hey guys, this is our weekly team call, and we are stoked tonight because our girl Eden is going to do an awesome training on Captivate and growing your Instagram with that. So if you don't know what Captivate is, make sure you're watching and taking notes. And if you are feeling stuck with Instagram, this will be a great call. I do want to touch on really quick. Amber and I have been hosting a coach opportunity group this week for you guys. And I want to say this again, it is for you guys. There's 8 days left in this month to really do something with it and make it happen. It's still plenty of time to hit Success Club. Is it 8? That doesn't seem right. Is it 8? Am I right? Or is it 7? Not 7. 6. 6 days? 5 days? 6? It depends if you count today. So I suck. I'm sorry. There's 7 days. 6 days? 6 days. I can't do math today. I apologize. 5, 6. Everybody say 5 or 6. 5 days. If you
I'm counting today because there's still until midnight. I don't know. Or 9 p.m. Eastern time.
That's how I always do it too, but in the end, that was giving me a hard time a whole minute. So we have 6 days, including today, left in this month. So this is a really important month in your business, as every single month, but to really like gear yourself up for the holiday seasons, for the next few months. So really do everything you can to make Success Club happen, and also recruit coaches and build that part of your business too. That is why Amber and I are hosting this group. It is for us, and I know we have the majority of people in there. But we were even talking about it the other day. We're like, oh, we lacked on like our posts this weekend, but we still got people in. So you guys have to remember that you just have to be inviting more. You just have to be sharing more, talking about it on your stories, reaching out to your challengers, sending out newsletters. Like, make it blatantly obvious that you have the solution for like everything with this business. You have the fitness solution, the health solution, you have the financial solution with coaching. Like, you have it all just with this opportunity. So remember that when you're sharing it. And one thing that I heard yesterday that I really liked in my personal development, it said the one difference between people who are successful in like making their dreams happen and the people who aren't is one thing: the courage to start. And you guys already all did that. And the courage to keep showing up. So remember, like, this is when you need courage to keep showing up. It's not all about starting. It's about keeping going. So I just wanted to say that. And now Eden can dive into her training.
All right. So, hi, I'm Eden, and I'm going to talk to you about Captivate because it's totally changed the game for me as far as like my Instagram following goes. So I kind of want to tell you a little bit about my story with social media first. So when I first started, I was really focused on Facebook, and I wasn't having a lot of like traction or anything. I felt like people, and not, this isn't for everybody, this is just me, but that people, like when you added people into your network and you were either one, getting to know them or anything, that they just weren't too welcoming to that approach. Like, why did you add me? Or like, how do I know you? They were just kind of like that. And to me, with Instagram, it's not like that. But I was also really struggling on how to grow my following to invite as many people on Instagram as I was on Facebook before, like a large number, and getting new people constantly. So originally what I was doing on Instagram was like going to, different things about you when they tell you to your brand and everything like that. So I was going to all these different hashtags or people and finding people like that and investing the time in doing that. And it just wasn't as fast and streamlined. I'm a mom of 2. My husband has epilepsy, and it's a pretty busy lifestyle. So to invest a lot of time in that, it wasn't working for me. So with Captivate, it made it a lot easier and faster, where to the point where it's working for me right now, and I'm not even touching my phone, which I think is really cool, and we'll get into. So first off, Captivate is only for iPhone. So we were just talking about that a little bit ago. There are some things similar on Android, but I don't know too much about them. This is strictly for Captivate. And I'm going to share my phone screen and everything like that. So this is, in my opinion, there's the free version of Captivate, which you do all the actions yourself, and it's more time consuming. There's a pro version, and then there's a cloud version. So it is an investment into your business if you want it to work the way that I'm going to show you. Now, I think total, if I remember correctly, it's like $5.99 for the cloud version. And the cloud version is where it's doing the Instagram building for you when you're not touching your phone. And then the pro gives you more features and everything like that, actions and such. So that's the difference between the paid versus the free version, is that you're going to get way more ability to do much more with the paid version than you are the free version. It's almost like if you're trying to do it 100% for free, it's a lot time consuming, and I'll show you that as well. So a lot of this is going to be, I have the chat box up. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat box, but I'm going to share my phone so I can really like dive into the app and kind of show you how to use it now. So let me share my phone. All right. Says it's popping up. Nope. Did it share? Nope. Cancel whatever that is. Nothing shared. Hold on. Now my Zoom is all weird. Stop share, try again. Let's see. Shh. Okay.
It did it right before the call when you
No, I even tested it and everything because I was paranoid. Yay, there we go. Okay, just needed a minute.
Okay.
All right, so that's my screensaver. Sorry, guys. Let me move this chat bar over here. Let me pop up the chat box. How do I pop up the chat box when I'm sharing screen? Okay, well, I guess I'll have to pause the sharing to actually see if you guys have questions in the chat box. So let's get into it. So here is Captivate. So when you first open it, it goes to the Discover page, and this is like preloading people. As you can see, there's a bunch of coaches on there first off from like, you know, it's kind of figured me out. Like I'm a coach. So it's like, oh, here are more people like you. So this is a Discover page, just like on Instagram. It's like people, you can see Melanie Mitros in there and stuff like that. So I don't really use this page so much as I do all the other features in the app. So when you go, first off, when you go to your Instagram and you're building without Captivate, what are you looking for? You're looking through other people's friends that are like you, or like, I'm going to give you examples for me per se, hashtags and stuff like that. So if you go to the search option, and see up in the left-hand corner, there's a thing that says options. It says you can search users or you can search tags. So let's start off with tags, and we can start off with, so here's something about me, right? I have a septum piercing. So like finding people like me. So if I go into this hashtag, and so whatever hashtags you guys use, this is another way just to search hashtags, but faster. So you can find somebody, let's say this girl, we're gonna go to her profile. I just clicked on her name. And first you can like her page, you can do everything here, but another thing that's really great about this is that you can also go to her followers right here in the app and look at her followers and select people. So there's these bubbles, and when you hit them, it turns blue. So people that you are interested in following, you tap, they turn blue. So here's the hashtag screen, and I'm going through the people who have the same hashtag about the septum piercing, okay? And you can find people this way through hashtags, and then you just click on their name, takes you to their profile. You can go through their followers. You can go through people, like she has 27 likes, people who are liking her photos. And if you click on the person and they turn blue, it's when you've selected them to submit an action. So that's how you do the hashtags. And then if you're in users, so right now I'm in this, like, I'm doing this whole curly hair journey. This is one girl who's like, strictly, she's just like a curly entrepreneur type girl. So there's two ways that, so curly hair journey. So I find other people who are like me. This is what she is. She's like basically on a curly hair journey. She does raffles for curly hair products, stuff like that. She's very well known. So I will go look in her followers, or I'll go to people who have recently liked her photos. So right here it says 471 likes. If you touch that, that was a comment. If you touch the likers, it'll load them. That's a lot of likers, so it's going to take a second. And you can go through and select people to follow. If you would like to view someone's profile, you hold it down. So this first lady, if I held my finger down on it, it'll take me to her Instagram. And you can comment and like, follow through this way, but I want to talk to you about selecting. So here I am, I'm on people who are active on Instagram. These are people who have actually recently liked her photo, who are also on a curly hair journey like me. So if you select, see they turn blue, you go through and you select all the people that you would like to add an action to, meaning follow. Okay, let's just select a couple. You go up here to actions, and this is where the cloud version comes handy and everything like that. So the difference here is follow, you're gonna follow. The add to whitelist is somebody who you don't wanna ever like automatically do actions on. So for instance, if you have like, if you don't want to unfollow somebody who doesn't follow you back, like let's say I'm following Kate, but she doesn't follow me back, but I want to keep following to your whitelist, and that means that like when you auto select to unfollow people or anything like that, it's not going to do anything to her. She'll just always be in your following. So that's what the whitelist means. So I selected those people that I want to follow, and right at the top I hit follow. Okay, you can start now. So this is the difference between what the app does for you. You can only follow and unfollow so many people before Instagram's like, wait, are you a bot or what are you doing? And they'll like stop your actions, right? So start now, it'll only follow 40 people max. And then you'd have to add them to what they call the local queue in Captivate or the cloud queue. So the difference between the local queue and the cloud queue are paid. Local queue, you have to go in and actually do the actions. That means like, I think it's like 40 people in an hour or something like that. So you'd have to every hour go in and say, okay, I want to follow the next 40 people. Okay, I want to follow the next 40 people. So it's time consuming. If you have the cloud version, it does it automatically for you. You just keep adding as many people as you would like to follow that you've found through searching your hashtags, things about your brand, etc., and you add them to the cloud queue, and it does it automatically for you per Instagram's like what their requirements are before they get like mad at you about following or unfollowing. So what you do, whoop, my screensaver went off. So I'm gonna hit add to my cloud queue, and it just goes like this, and it says loading it and adds to the queue. Now the cloud queue is always going. So per what Instagram like allows from like following, right? Because usually when you're doing this, like, and you're finding people, you're going to one person's page and you'll follow them. Like you're probably following like around 30 to 40 people when you're adding to your network, and you're doing it without Captivate. So what's the difference between Captivate is you go in and you select quick like this, like I'm just selecting based on their profile picture. And then you go right here, oops, let me go back. So we're gonna get out of her. So you go to settings and see right here it says cloud actions. So this is how many people I've currently loaded into my cloud that the cloud is just working on. 4,823 people. That's just for me doing bubbles based on their profile picture, kind of like Facebook. When you go add on Facebook, it's based like, oh, do I have in common? I have friends in common with this person. I have something in common with this person. I'll add this person to my network. So same kind of thing. You're just doing it based on their picture. You can hold their picture down. You can go look at them more. Then you can hit select them and follow, but it adds it to this. Now this I built up over time. And let me preface this. When I started before using Captivate, I was like at 590 something followers. And when I very first started, I was only at 120. So I had built in a year only up to about 500. I was really struggling with it. So this has made it a lot easier. I think right now I'm almost at 1,600 and it's been a month. And this is just for me selecting people that I'm finding in the things that I consider my brand, hashtags and stuff like that, and adding them into the cloud. And the cloud just automatically follows them per what Instagram requirements are. I think it's like 2 people every minute or something like that. So when you're following a lot of people like this, you also have to unfollow, and you can do it in this app, or you can get Cleaner, which makes it a lot faster. It's another paid app, but that's what the cloud queue does for you. It just automatically does it. Like, so I have all these people loaded in here. About once a day, I'll go through like a process of something I'm interested in. It could be a TV show I'm watching, an actor I really like. However, you're going to find your people, and I'll add them to my queue, and the queue just does it for me. If you have the local queue, right here it says local actions, and you hit pending queue. If there was things in here, you would hit action, and it would just say, take the next action. And it would follow like the next 40 people in an hour. But you have to keep going into the app and hitting it, and going into the app and hitting it. And to me, the $5.99 just for the app, just to do it for you, was like awesome. So let me see. I got some things. So cloud logos, okay. Yeah. So what happens is, without the pro or the cloud, it limits your actions and everything like that, and it makes you pretty much do what you were already doing without the app. So to me, it's kind of pointless. I mean, selecting people would be quicker, but without the paid versions, you're pretty much doing what you were doing before, which is, just using Instagram to do it. So this has really been like a game changer for me, because it's been easy to follow people and search people very quickly. Like I said, I'm on a hair journey, so she's a curlpreneur. So I'll go to her followers. I just hit, like, you just tap it, her followers, they'll pop up, they're processing. You can go through and select like this. You can go to your actions. You hit follow, and you can add to, right now, start now, it'll only follow 40, and then it'll tell you to add the rest to your local queue or your cloud queue, depending on which one you have. But it makes it super simple, and this has given me the opportunity to go from talking to like small amounts to people to talking to, I've been actually in my notebook right here. I've been talking to this many people. Oh wait, I'm sharing my phone. I'm sorry. Let me show you. Let me stop the share real quick on my phone before I go any farther. Just thinking. Here we go. All right, so I went from talking to like, I don't know, maybe like 5 people on Instagram. Like I said, I was really struggling, to talking to 64 a day on Instagram alone, just from using that kind of technique where you're just following by picture. Now, these people that I'm talking to are people who have followed me back, not people who I went and followed and they haven't followed me back. All these people are following me back. They're commenting on my posts. They're liking my posts. They're in my stories, everything like that. These 64 people that I'm talking to a day. So messages on IG from like inviting and everything used to look like, maybe every once in a while. And now it's like, just before this call, I had to clear out 30 messages. Half of them were emails. Just send them a direct invite. You can go in and you can comment and you can like on their photos, just how you always do, and build a network. But I just have been going in with a direct invite. Hey, did you see this is what's going on? Would you like to snag up a spot? And a lot of them are like, oh, tell me more. And then they send me their email. So this has changed the game for me as far as following goes, like crazy. Does anybody have any more, any type of question before I share my phone screen again to go more in depth?
I have a question, Eden.
Yeah.
So you're searching in the hashtags, and like, you found your curly haired lady, and then you went into her following. But like, what if you're just going through the hashtags and you like those people, but you don't want to, like, I guess you can follow them right then, but how do you add them to the queue or whatever?
Oh, when you're in hashtags, here, let me show you. Hold on, let me share my screen.
This is really awesome. I just downloaded both of these apps.
I know, I'm trying to like do it while you're talking, and then I'm like missing stuff. So I need to just
No, you're totally fine. And I think it's really beneficial that you actually see it, because it was very confusing for me at first to like figure it out, because I'm like, wait, so like how do you actually like add people? And so really what this is I'm going to tell you right now, if you're not going to get the paid version, it's just more time consuming. The paid version makes it so easy. And my business partner, Kelly, you know, I pretty much showed her what I'm showing you guys. She downloaded it, and she's had it for not even a week, and she's gone up 400 followers.
And so, what I will say too, it's a very small investment. Like, it's not like you're paying monthly. I know a lot of shit like this you have to pay monthly for, or like it's like overly expensive, and like $5 or $6 or whatever you said it was, like that is nothing.
Yeah, I think like, so if you get Captivate and you get Cleaner, I think it's like total between the two apps like a $20 investment in your business. So, okay, so up at the top, Amber, there's that options. If you hit it, you can switch between searching people versus hashtags. So if you're in a tag, and like, let's just use, again, uh-oh, my internet being lame. Oh, it's because I put the hashtag first. I was like, why isn't it working? Okay, so we'll just go to septum piercings here. So if you're in a hashtag that you're using, whatever it might be. So Amber's question is like, what if you wanted to like a photo? You see the little red heart, you just hit it and it'll like it for you.
But what if you want to add her to your like like it or add her, like go to her page, but can you just like select her to add her to the queue later? So or does it not matter? Is my question.
Right. So I think you have to actually hit her picture or like her name.
Okay.
And then, whoa, you can even copy user followers. I didn't know that. But then you'd have to follow. So if you're in tags, you would have to follow right then and there. So, I mean, you're not going to go, if you're doing it that way, you're not going to go over your like 40, I think it is, or whatever. But you can't add to the queue unless, I think, and because I have my cloud thing working, let's say if you were doing this on the unpaid version, like however many people you follow right now, or if you were in hashtags, like there might come to a point where it's like, oh, you've reached your limit, add to the queue. It'll like alert you. So if you were to sit here and follow 40 people off of this hashtag and then you reached your limit, it'll alert you and say add to the queue. It'll just tell you add to local queue or add to queue automatically. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So that's like if you're in hashtags, but sadly it doesn't do the bubble when you're in hashtags. You would actually have to go to her. But then say like you were really vibing with this person, you liked their photo, you followed them and stuff like that. And you could go to her, like people who are active on her photo, even in the comments, you can comment on this. You can even go into her following and then it'll pop up the bubbles. But if you're in the hashtag and you're just looking at her like we were, then you would have to follow her. And if you reach the limit, it would alert you to do the cloud or the local queue. Like you've reached your limit, and it keeps Instagram from getting like mad at you, right? Because it's not like those apps that follow like mass amounts, like crazy. It does it per Instagram's guidelines, which I think is really like cool. So like Instagram's never going to get mad at you. Like, have you ever sent too many like Facebook messages or anything and you got the thing saying like, hey, no more? So this allows, like, it does that back work for you where you don't have to figure out like how much you're at. It just like does it for you per Instagram's guidelines, which I think is really key. So if you're in hashtags, you have to do it that way unless you select into somebody's likers or followers. And then you hit options and you can switch back to users. I mean, and in users, it's not just people. Like we've been really into American Horror Story recently. So say like I wanted to find other people who have been watching it, other women that I might. So it'll open.
I'm over here like I can't be friends with those people because that show scares the ish out of me.
Well, it's just an example, right? Like because with Captivate, like you could be doing anything. Like, oh, okay, like your drink, your whatever, like however you find people to put into your network, it's just like making it more streamlined to where you're just like selecting pictures. And it's literally so fast that like you just scroll down and you're selecting and you've already 200 people to like your cloud queue or whatever, versus like having like, to me, it was just way more time consuming before.
I think it's cool, and it reminds me of like how many different people there are to connect with. Like there are something I think we tend to do is put ourselves in a box with like our interests. I was talking to a coach recently and she's like, I feel really boring. And I want to tell you, I feel like my life is so boring 99% of the time, unless I'm like on a trip or something. But it's just remembering there are all these things that are normal and like boring that people relate to. We all have our certain Netflix shows or like whatever habit it is that we have, or interests, podcasts, whatever. Like there's so many different ways we can relate to people that, and we're just not being creative enough.
Yeah, like what pet you have, like everything. So when I want to describe these little bubbles, see where it's green? That means they're following me back. So this app also tells you if they're following you or not. So if it's a green like that, it means we're mutually following each other. Let me scroll down. The mutually not following is an orange arrow. I have that cleaner app, so I clean out people who aren't following me like on the daily. So it's not going to show you. Wow, I guess it's done its good job. But if you see an orange arrow, that means they're not following you. So you can see it's like a mutual follow. I really wish maybe if I scroll like really far down. There you go, orange arrows. Doesn't follow you. So the orange arrows mean they don't follow you. And what I've been doing with like my unfollow, and you can unfollow in this app without cleaner, but cleaner makes it so much faster, and I'll show you the difference too, is like in this app, you have to go quick select down here, and then it says advanced quick select, and it says select non-followers, and you can start, and it'll do it. But the difference is that you can't add these ones to your cloud queue. Like it'll only unfollow so many at a time. So I have 144 users loaded. That's not even how many people I'm following. So like it's only loading 600 of the people, and I have 144 in there that aren't following me. So, but with cleaner,
Oh, sorry, Eden. But that's just going to unfollow everybody. If you wanted to keep following them, you'd have to either whitelist them or just individually do it, right?
Correct. So if there's somebody that you wanted to keep following that is not following you, but for no reason do you want to like accidentally unfollow them, you'd have to whitelist them. So like whatever that might be, like American Horror Story is not going to follow me back, or like stuff like that. If you want to keep them in your following, like that you're following them, you have to whitelist them if they are not following you back. The cleaner, what the cleaner does, I'll show you real quick, is again, this is like the pro and the cloud version with cleaner, but it's for unfollowing. So you hit quick select again, and it'll select non-followers. It's got all my everybody I'm following though already loaded. See like the 954, and it'll process and tell me how many people aren't following me, and I can choose to add them to my cloud queue. So there's a cloud queue on cleaner too that also does the job of you not having to go in there and unfollow. That's my husband. Unfollow. So I have 150. So I would hit actions, unfollow. Start now would only unfollow 40 people, and then it would tell me to add to the cloud queue or the local queue, and you hit add to cloud queue, and it'll just do it for you about who you want to unfollow. So you do have to use your whitelist. So like here's my pending actions for all the people who I'm currently wanting to unfollow. It's 141 people. So that's what cleaner does for you. It just makes it super fast. Like you're not having to sit there and select all the people and add them to the queues. You're just saying, app, do it for me fast. I don't want to spend the time dealing with all of that. So in Captivate, another really interesting thing that I want to go over with, you saw how I take the time to go through and select the bubble of people that I like It's almost like I'm shopping. Like I'm like, okay, yeah, I might vibe with that person. There's this quick select at the bottom. So like, let's say we'll just go to their following real quick since they're up. So there's options in quick select, which I don't recommend doing, because what I found is when you select the people yourself, they're not bots, right? If you have the app select, like I could follow everybody that American Horror Story, I could add them all to my queue, but how many bots are going to be following them? Probably a lot, right? So if you take the time to go through and select people's photos that you think you would vibe with, that think that everything like that, I've like no bots, maybe rarely, like maybe a boutique here and there or something like that. But if the app selects for you, you're going to get bots, because how many bots follow different people and stuff like that. Like not everybody is real on Instagram. So take the time to actually select the people. That's my recommendation, is to select the people versus like, you know, like if, and again, it would select a bunch of guys. There's a bunch of dudes like following American Horror Story, and maybe I'm not marketing towards guys, so why would I want to follow them? So if you hit the bubble versus having the app like select all, you can deselect all, invert selection, whatever. If you have them select for you, you're going to follow people you probably don't even want to waste time on or follow. So I don't recommend that at all. That's like just a quick like 199 users. Yeah, let me follow all of them. But this guy, funny, shy, happy, doesn't even have a picture, cat, like this cat thing, like those probably aren't people. So I don't really want to follow them. So when you take the time to select the bubble, that's the game changer versus having the app do it for you. Sure, if you're like if you're in somebody who you're talking, like a coach or something like that, and you want to select like, you want to go into their friends list and you want to follow like everybody on their friends list, probably more likely that there's not a lot of bots. But like if you're searching mass quantities, don't do that. Like if you find somebody who's got like maybe like 90 people who are following them, you know, it's not going to be that hard to like take the time to select the people you want to. But that's the difference with the quick select. You don't really want to like just select all or have the app select for you, because it's going to follow bots and it's a waste of your time. And it makes it so easy just to hit the bubble than it does to do that. So let me see if I missed anything. We went over how much it costs. It's only for iPhone, sadly, right now. So there's only 3 things. It's the discover, the search, where you can search hashtags and people, like things, people, whatever Instagram you want to search, and then the people you're currently following. So what I found is really awesome to find active users on Instagram is when you go to somebody, see, and you go to the people who have liked their photos. You just hit, it said 18 likes, I just tapped it. These are all the people who have been on Instagram lately. So these people, you know, are active on Instagram. If you go to a following, you don't necessarily know who's active or not. Like somebody could have followed American Horror Story like a year ago. They're never on IG and you're following them. So going to people who like things, you know they've been on Instagram lately, especially if it's in the top couple photos. So like a big one, like you saw that curly hair girl. Let me see another example. So like if we went to, we'll just go back to her. She's just like a good example to use because she's got a lot of followers. So right here it says 484 likes. These are people who are just on Instagram. I mean, what did she post this today? Wait, where did it say? Nope, wait, 4 hours ago she posted this. She got 484 likes in 4 hours. These are people who have been on Instagram. These are people who like you would want to be interested in because they're active on Instagram. They're probably going to message you back if you message them, if you start talking to them, stuff like that, because they're active on Instagram. And I think that's really important too, especially if you go to like clothing brands or coffee shops you've been in, restaurants you've been in. If you go to the things that were liked, those are people who are active, who have recently been on there. So it makes it a lot easier and a lot more people like will reply to you. Does anybody have any more questions about my share about Captivate?
Amanda posted pro upgrade or cloud upgrade. And I was curious about that too, because when I went into my app, I was like, did I pay for this at some point? I went into upgrade and then it says cloud upgrade $9.99. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
The cloud is going to do it for you automatically. The pro, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure the cloud and the, like, if you get the cloud, it's the pro features. Like the cloud, like if you get the pro, then you'll have to pay for the cloud. But if you get the cloud, you already get the pro. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the difference between pro is like the amount of actions you can do, and like a couple of the, like when I quick select and it says, oh, do you want to select all your non-followers and stuff like that. So you definitely want the cloud because it does it for you without you even touching your phone. Like right now it's going and following people for me, like that I've selected, that I took the time to like invest time in, to be like, yes, I would like to follow them, see if they follow me back. But I've noticed the biggest difference is like now, before I was going and investing time in people that may or may not follow me back, but now I'm only messaging people who are actually following me. And most of the time they're active on Instagram because of that strategy. No, so Cleaner is another Instagram, or it's another app separate. So like if you're, I have both, hold on, let me show you. Share my screen so you can see them. So, there it is. So see, there's Cleaner, there's Captivate. So Cleaner helps you unfollow and stuff like that. I mean, essentially that's like what you use it for. It just makes it fast. It loads everything automatically. There's my followers. You can see people who aren't, that like follows me, but I'm not following her, which I think this is another really cool thing that Captivate doesn't do. On Captivate, it's showing me if we mutually follow, or if they are, or I'm only following them. But on Cleaner, it's showing me that this girl right here, she's following me and I'm not following her. So you could go back and follow her. I mean, technically you could go through your followers. That's how I invite. Like I literally just go to Instagram and I go through my followers and I'll find 64 new people to invite a day from doing that. Let me see. There was another message. Where did it go? My little light so I can see. Yeah. We were talking before and I think I pulled up on like, I think it's called Follow Meter for Instagram, and that's for like, you know, like Google Play and Android and stuff like that, but I don't necessarily know how that works. But this makes this so fast, you guys. Like I said, I was struggling so much to find people like on Instagram. The people that I message on Instagram are so nice compared to Facebook, just in general. I'm not doing anything different. It's just like, I feel like Instagram, especially people who are active in Instagram, are more like appreciate conversation versus like on Facebook, to me. So I'm having a lot more success with it as far as like being able to grow my followers, where I can invite a lot of people and talk to a lot of people. And they're people like I haven't come across, like maybe a few bots here or there, like you go to their profile. And this is something I always do, is I'll like open my Instagram, I'll go to my following and I'll go to the person's profile, I'll CCQ them, and then I will send them an invite. So this is somebody who follows me, then I'm going to take the time to go show love, relate to them, and then I'm going to send them the invite, literally like that, versus like they're already following me, they're already like, to me, they're warm market. They've shown interest in you. So that's what I've been doing to grow my following. It's been super successful. What I love about it is once a day, I'll add to my queue from something I think of. So could be like a clothing shop that I went to local. I'll go in there and I will invite from it, or not invite, I will go add to my cloud. And then it's just doing the work for me. And then all my work is to go into people who are actually following me and inviting them and communicating with them, versus the other way around. That was like I feel like it takes just a little of the work that I was doing before off. Like, it's made it a lot easier for me to grow a following of like actual people too. That's why you should take the time to like select versus having it quick select for you.
And one thing that I want to say too, for some reason it's strange, but I swear you have something right with this. Like, people on Instagram are less cynical and than people on Facebook. Like, today I saw two people who I've known forever post stupid shit about like MLMs and being like this post if you're an MLM so I can unfriend you. And I'm like, what passive aggressive, stupid thing? Like, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to unfriend you. And I looked back in the message because one of these girls, I was like, I know we've talked multiple times about her coaching, about multiple things. Just people have so, I don't know. I just think people on Instagram, the market's wider.
Just to take it a step further, to be completely transparent about my process, I want to share my Instagram with you and like okay, so you're building your following. Hold on, let me see if it'll share my screen again.
That's awesome though, because I was going to ask you to share this.
Go away, cancel that. It's not sharing now. Why not?
What we can do also is I can pull it up on Safari and look at your Instagram.
Well, I was gonna like actually show you my messages.
Okay, I would like that.
Okay, wait. It's trying to get me to like download something. Why all of a sudden are you giving me problems? I've shared like 50 times. All right, hold on. Let me try one more time. There we go. Okay, so here you go. This is someone, let me go to her profile real fast. Somebody who's following me from doing this system, okay? She's a boy mom. I must have found her like from boy mom hashtags because I'm a boy mom. Okay. I went through, I liked and commented on some of her pictures. I sent her this message. She had read her profile, made sure she wasn't a coach, everything like that. That's exactly what I sent her. This is how she replied. And this is how pretty much everybody's replying to me. They're nice on Instagram compared to Facebook. I mean, to me, then I take the time, if you replied to my invite, I take the time and I send a video message. So here's me, this is like before I got on this call, sending a video message, and she sent me her email. She would love to hear more information. I told her a little bit more about what this is and asked for her email, said if you want to have all the talks, all the deets, like send me your email. I wonder if you can actually play the video. I'm just going to be like, let's see if it'll.
Absolutely. Shoot me your email. We can have all the talks. I can fill you in on all the details. Absolutely.
There you go. That was it. And that's what I've been doing with everybody. And if they message me back and they're like, you know, no, thank you, not right now, I still video message them and say like, no problem. Opportunity is always here if you're looking for more information. And those people, the people who like, no, not right now, or like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm so busy. If they say they're busy, I say something along the lines of like, no problem. This opportunity is already always here when you want more information. That's why I love this, is because my life is also busy. I hope you have a really great week. Those people are watching my Instagram stories and are like voting on my polls now. So, but that's what I've been doing. I'm talking to 64 people a day. Out of that 64, about 30 people reply back. It might be no, it might be yes. And then I take them to Google Streak. So that's what I've been doing. And it's been working really well compared to like, I was spending a lot of my time focused on Facebook and that was not working for me. So I had to reassess. Me and Kate had a call like a month ago and I was telling her about this. I had to reassess. But the video messages after they send a reply are big hits so far. Before, when I wasn't video messaging back, when I originally started this process, I would send them something back in just text. And they were like, you know, it wasn't, they appreciate the video. I mean, like that took me 5 seconds, 30 people to like reply to. I pretty much say the same thing to everybody if they want more information. And it's super fast and it's been great result. You know, I've been doing Captivate a month. So that's my new system and it's been working really great as far as adding to my network so I can actually have like new faces all the time to invite to, and then I can still follow up with all the other people that I already had, but I'm inviting new faces, new 64 people a day. And then I'm following up with the ones that I've already invited.
And I want to add too, like, since you started coaching a year ago, your content has gotten so much better too. And so that is part of it as well. And something that you just have to learn. Like, I remember I can scroll through my Instagram and it was worse than anybody who is on this call who thinks their Instagram or their social media sucks. I promise you, when I was a new coach, mine was worse. And it's just something you have to get better at and something you have to learn. And it's just another tool in this business, is learning how to share your story, learning how to take clearer photos, making sure you're using natural lighting or getting a ring light, or like little tweaks that you can do to make your social media more eye-catching, because that's what you have to remember. It's about not like selling the products, but it's about selling yourself and your story. And so thinking about top Instagrammers who have like 100,000 followers or even 30,000 followers, and looking, and their photos are normally very eye-catching, very clean, very pretty. And that is what you want to tell. You want to tell a story on your feed. And Eden, you've definitely gotten a lot better at that, and talking about coaching as well, and sharing your personal story in different chunks. Like, these are all things that go towards that as well. And I think it's important that you have both, because like, it's building trust when you're sharing your story, when you're putting yourself out there. And so when you're sending that invite, you have that to back it up.
Yeah, and I feel like having this app to help add to your network fresh faces for you to communicate with that are interested in you because they're already following me back has been super beneficial, because people like I'm going to be really honest. Like I said, I started with like 120 followers. It was really hard for me to get to 500 before Captivate, and now I've like doubled it, not tripled it, doubled it. I think it's been like a month and a half, and people are actually voting on my polls. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the coaching opportunity, the girls that are in there right now voted on my poll on Instagram, versus like nobody ever voting on my polls. Like, I do polls daily about, like, I call it Project You. That's what I'm calling my thing. But I'll do polls about that. So it's always the people who I message will literally go to my stories, watch all of them, and then message me back and just like, oh yeah, I just watched all your stories. Like, can I have more information? Yeah. So like, it's definitely a system. You definitely have to be doing the stories. Like Kate said, you have to be sharing, and especially if you're going to be adding that many people to your network, you want to be screaming like, this is what I do. And so it's been working really well for me so far. That's how I've been using Captivate. And like I said, I think it was like 590 or something like that before I started. So I've already doubled it. Or I said like 15 or something like that. And you definitely want to, if you're going to unfollow through Captivate, it just takes longer. You can do it, but you just do it in batches. Like, it'll, batches, and you don't want to get blocked by Instagram or anything. Like, when you have the cloud queues, they just do it for you. You don't have to worry about it. To me, it's totally worth the $5.99 or $9.99 for both the things, and you just let it do it for you. But yeah, so if there's any more, oh, thank you. If there's any more questions about Captivate that I can answer, or cleaner.
I have a question. Did you already say this, but how often do you have it set? Like, how many days does it unfollow them? Like, how long do they have before they're cut off because they didn't follow you?
Oh, so that's like, if you go in there and you hit to execute, then it'll just, like, if you have a big quantity, like that 144 will be gone by tomorrow. So like,
so you just every couple days just go in there and do it.
Okay. Right. Whenever you're feeling like from an Instagram training Kate did a long time ago that I watched, it was like, you always want to be following, or you want your following to be larger than what you're following. So I'll go through and, do that every so often. When the amount that I'm following gets high, then I'll go to cleaner. And then Amanda just said that actually Captivate gives you the option to use the cloud queue for unfollowing. So that's really cool. So you don't even need cleaner, which I did not know.
But to clarify, everybody should just do the cloud version if they're gonna get Captivate. Just pay the $10 because then you'll get the pro. Yeah.
Yeah, but what Amanda's saying is, like, you don't need cleaner to unfollow, because you can do it in Captivate with the cloud queue, which is awesome. I didn't know, and that's why I got cleaner with the cloud queue. So there you go. So that makes it just one app versus two. But if you have both, then still do it. You've already paid for it. But yeah, so that is everything about Captivate that I know, and that's how I've been doing it. I think we're like only a couple minutes left, so if nobody has any other questions.
That was awesome. You rocked that.
Thanks. Yeah, I've been really loving it, and it's been really like fast. I like it not to take a lot of time, so that's why I invested in it, and it's working great. So,
and
yeah.
I think that's important too, because especially when you're a new coach, you have to be adding to your warm network in order to have those people to invite. And sometimes coaches, like, they freak out because they're like, oh my God, my warm network's gone. And it's because they weren't finding a way to grow their social media well, inviting. And it's something that you have to do, like not dual parts, because you want to spend a little time, but not focus on all your time, because there are top elite coaches and millionaires in the company who have the worst social media in the world. And then you see them walk across stage and you're like, you're an elite coach and your social media sucks. And that's like, and I mean, that may make me sound like a dick, but that's just like the truth. I've seen it. And so you're like, if they can do it without a social media, you can too. But it is important. Like, it is a great avenue. So it is something you want to do, work on while you're also making sure you're getting those invites. And I love your numbers, and I'm excited to see what it does for your biz.
Yeah, so yeah, just a lot of new faces. It helps with that, and that's what I really enjoy about it, because that's what I was struggling with. So I found something that's working for me. So yeah, I'm glad to share it with all you guys. And I really feel like we should put a disclaimer, like with the video, that
it's only for
cleaner, like because of what Amanda just said. Like, don't Captivate can do it all for you. Just do Captivate with the cloud option and the pro, or just Captivate, because you don't want to just do both. I didn't know that, so that's good. You just need the one app.
Okay.
Alrighty. I hope everybody's having an awesome night.
Thanks you guys so much. And thank you, Eden, so much for this awesome training. I'll get the recording up soon, and we'll see you next week. And let's end this month. Okay, the next time I see you guys, it'll be October. What? So again, we have 6 days, including today, to make Success Club happen. Let's go.